Hi, it's Ike from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book to read for you. Today's book is Muppet Kids, and I Want to Go Home from 1989. So let's get started. Fozzie called Kermit. I have great news. Fozzie stopped bouncing his basketball to look at his best friend in the water. What the great news, Kermit? He asked. Well, said Kermit, since you are coming over to my house to play with my new knock hockey set, after school, I asked my parents if you could stay for dinner. Great, said Fozzie. He threw the ball and made a basket. What are you having? Biscotti, said Kermit. And that's not all. I figured that since there's no school tomorrow, maybe you could sleep over. So I asked my parents that too, and they said yes. You can sleep over. Said Fozzie. He dropped the ball. Fozzie had never been on a sleepover before, except at his grandmother's house. He was excited, but he was also something else. He scared. After school, he went home and packed his overnight bag. And as he packed, he had a little talk with himself. What if I get lonesome? He asked himself. I'll only be right next door, he told himself. What if I get scared in the middle of the night? He asked himself. I could always come home, he told himself. His dad was reading the newspaper in the kitchen. Well, Pops, I'm all packed, said Fozzie. So you are, said his dad. All ready for your sleepover? All ready, said Fozzie. Then he stood there for a minute. Pops, he said, what if I get lonesome? You're only be right next door, said his dad. And Pops, said Fozzie, what if I get scared in the middle of the night? You can always come home, said Pops. Right, said Fozzie. Fozzie and Kermit played knock hockey for a long time in Kermit's room. Then they played cards. Then they jumped in the pile of leaves. Then they helped Kermit's mom make dinner. At dinner, Kermit's family didn't tell jokes the way Fozzie's family did. They didn't play funny games or tell funny stories either. They just told each other what they had done all day. Fozzie looked into his plate of biscotti. What are all these little brown things? He asked politely. They are mushrooms, dear, said Kermit's mom. Mushroom? Ah, horrible, icky, slippery mushroom. Fozzie wanted to run out of the room with his hand clamped over his mouth, but he knew it wouldn't be polite. At home, his parents never served mushrooms. Carefully, Fozzie picked out all the mushrooms and put them in a little pile on the side of his plate. After dinner, Fozzie and Kermit helped clean up. Kermit's dad washed and Fozzie dried. Fozzie picked up a wet dish. It slipped right out of his hand, crashed to the floor, and laid there in about 100 pieces. It's okay, Fozzie, said Kermit. Don't worry about it. But Fozzie felt horrible, horrible, horrible. The two of them played checkers for a while in Kermit's room. It was fun, but Fozzie still felt bad about the dish. Don't feel bad, Fozzie, said Kermit. I break things all the time. Yes, but this is your home, said Fozzie. It's different. Kermit and Fozzie put on their pajamas and brushed their teeth. Kermit's mom had made up Fozzie's bed on the floor. It was a sleeping bag on an air mattress. Fozzie felt his pillow. It was kind of flat, not fluffy like his pillow at home. You could go home and get your pillow, suggested Kermit. But Fozzie thought that would make him feel pretty silly. It's all right, he said. I'll be okay with this one. At last, it was bedtime. Father was decided. He was really having a sleepover at Kermit's house. What do you do for bedtime? Asked Father. I'd read for a while, then I'd turn off my light, said Kermit. Doesn't your dad tell you a good night joke? Asked Father. Nope, said Kermit. Doesn't your mom read you a good night story? Asked Father. Not anymore, said Kermit. Father felt his throat begin to tighten up. No good night jokes, no good night story, and no good night hugs and kisses either. This will be okay, said Father to himself. With determination, this will be okay. This will really be okay. They talked for a while. Then they turned off the light. There was a big scary shape on the ceiling. Oh, that's just the shadow of my hat rack, explained Kermit. This will be okay, whispered Father to himself. Father laid in his sleeping bag for a while. Looking at the ceiling, he felt lonely. He felt homesick. He felt embarrassed to be feeling lonely and homesick. In another few minutes, a big tear rolled down his cheek. This won't be okay, he said to himself. Kermit, he whispered. Kermit, are you awake? Sort of, said Kermit. Kermit, said Father. I'm lonesome and homesick. A lot, asked Kermit. A lot, said Father. Kermit turned on the light. But my house is nice, said Kermit. It just be like your house. It is nice, said Father, but it's not my house. I miss my parents. But they are right next door, said Kermit. Father could tell that Kermit was trying, but he just didn't understand. I want to go home, Kermit, said Father. Kermit's parent really tried to help Father feel less embarrassed. This happened to me when I was your age, said Kermit Dad. Kermit Mom called up Father Mom and said that Father was coming home. I have an idea, said Kermit, as Father was packing his bag. Maybe I could come and sleep at your place. Then we could still have our sleepover, and you won't get lonesome and homesick at my house, said Father. Me never, said Kermit. All the parents liked the idea, so Kermit packed his bag and off they went. At Father's house, Father's mom made up a bed for Kermit. She had piled up a lot of blankets and quilts on Father's floor, like the princess in the pea, she explained. Kermit tested it out. How it feels, asked Father. A little hard, said Kermit, but it'll be okay. They talked for a while longer, then they turned out the light. Father, said Kermit. Yes, Kermit, said Father, snuggled happily in his bed. Father, what's that scary shape hanging on your wall? Asked Kermit. That's just my rubber chickens collection, said Father. Oh, said Kermit. It was quiet for a few minutes. Father, said Kermit. Father, are you awake? Kind of, said Father. It's very dark in here, said Kermit. Do you ever sleep with your door open? Father thought Kermit's voice sounded a little funny. I don't usually, he said. Then he turned on the lamp. Are you okay, Kermit? There was one small tear in the corner of Kermit's eye. I am lonesome and homesick, admitted Kermit. A lot, said Father. A lot, said Kermit. So Kermit packed up his bag while Father Pop called Kermit Mom. Don't be embarrassed about being homesick, said Father Mom, who knew Kermit very, very well. Everybody felt that way sometimes. There'll be plenty of time for sleepovers when you both get a little older. Thanks, said Kermit silently. He felt better. I have an idea, said Father. He went into the kitchen, and Kermit could hear him rambling around in there. When he came back, Father had two paper cups and a long piece of string. He poked a hole in the bottom of each cup. Put one put one end of the string through each hole and then knotted the end. There, he said. Now we can still have our sleepover. Then, then he walked Kermit home. Finally, it was really bedtime. Kermit sat up in his bed with his shades open. He could see right into Kermit's bedroom. He could see right into Fozzie's bedroom. Fozzie pushed aside his curtain so he could see Kermit better. The paper cup telephone was all set up between the houses. "Can you hear me?" shouted Fozzie into his paper cup. "Pretty well," Kermit shouted back. "This is turning out to be a good sleepover, isn't it?" shouted Fozzie. "The best," yelled Kermit. "Well, good night," Kermit said. Good night, Kermit said Fozzie. "Sleep well. Don't let the bedbug bite," Fozzie said. Fozzie said Kermit. They waved at each other. Then they turned out their lights, went to sleep, and they had good dreams all night. So that was Muppet Kids, and I Want to Go Home from 1989. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment. Have a good every day. With another video coming out real soon.